Good evening. Welcome to another 30 minutes of Aging with Attitude. Now, how many times have we all, for no apparent reason at all, had some old tune, some old song to suddenly pop in our mind? And a lot of times they stay there for days, as if they are a part of us. What we're going to try to do tonight is to bring back some of these old numbers, and we have the people to do it too. They are both very talented professional musicians, and let me introduce them. On my right is Nathan Hefner. He happens to be my grandson. I can give you his background very well because he started singing. He loved to sing when he was 3 years old. At 4, his sister had a little toy piano, and his grandmother had a small organ. He got into both of those. By 5, he was on the full-size piano and singing too and loving it. And he has been tickling the ivories and singing ever since. He has performed up and down the coast, many places, all the way from Florida to Massachusetts and a number of places back from the coast. And we're just so happy to have these two here tonight. Now on my left is Jim Lackey. Jim has a musical career behind him that is phenomenal. I will not try to introduce that portion of it. I will ask Nathan to do it. He can do a much better job of it than I can. But I'd like to ask them both. Nathan, during your musical career, is there a point there that you considered one of the highlights? You know, when you're on top of the hill, feel like you're on top of the hill.
There have been some of those. I think you've seen some. I've been there for some of them. I think opening for Patty Page was one of the best nights of my life. Anytime I think an artist gets to do a big show like that.
Right.
Opening for the Smothers Brothers, that was a great night. And then there are nights, believe it or not, that just working at a local club, say with Jim, we get done and we're on top of the world. The music's right, and the crowd is they've had a great time, and there's really no feeling like that.
It's hard then to identify a particular highlight.
It really is.
I can certainly understand that. I remember one little thing there. You being Patty Page's protege and being the youngest member of her national fan club at the age of 12, and confiscating all of my records and all your grandmother's records, and I could go on and on and on. But Jim, on the other hand, here has a phenomenal career in music, and I would fail to do it justice if I tried to spell it out. Nathan, would you do the job for me?
I'd be glad to. I met Jim, it's been a few years ago, I guess. About 3, 4 years ago. Yep. And we hadn't worked a lot together. And I'm certainly glad that we met. I had long heard, and he may smack me around later for saying this, he's always been known in the drummer circle as Mr. Smooth, and you'll hear later why he's known as Mr. Smooth. He has an exceptional touch on the drums that very few drummers have, and we've had a ball because he and I he's kind of an anomaly as a drummer in that he really appreciates the value of a lyric and the songwriter, not just the rhythms behind it. So we've had a lot of fun just talking tunes, and it's a neat thing. But as we do some of the music, I'm going to ask Jim to do some storytelling because Jim's got stories. He's got lots of stories. And I've enjoyed listening to his stories. But for now, I think that will do.
Thank you. You did a fine job. Well, as I said again, we are extremely lucky to have two very talented musicians here as we have tonight. Now, that's about all I've got to say on the matter, except I hope that in the playing here that we can bring back a few of your old favorites, bring back some of those memories. That's what we're after. And I'll leave it up to them.
Thanks, sir. We're going to start off with a song written by my favorite songwriter, Johnny Mercer. And if I get the mic cord here. I hope you enjoy this one. One, two, three. This will be my shining hour, calm and happy and bright. In my dreams your face will flower through the darkness of the night, like the lights of home before me, or an angel watching o'er me. This will be my shining hour till I'm with you again. Shining hour, calm and happy and bright. In my dreams your face will flower through the darkness of the night, like the lights of home before me. I've got an angel watching o'er me. This will be my shining hour till I'm with you again. Yeah, man. The next song I was gonna, the song "Because of You." Now I'm gonna tell this because you've told the story to me. You did a lot of work with Lunas McGlowan, who of course here in Charlotte is very well known, and who I love. But the next tune was done by Tony Bennett, and you actually worked on a recording with Mr. Bennett.
We got to do a session with Tony Bennett in Columbia, South Carolina. It was a great experience. And the neat thing about it, that Tony Bennett came in and he was just one of the boys. There was no pretense at all that I'm Tony Bennett. I will sit over here, you know, you guys over there.
But being one of the boys, you guys went to a Waffle House. This is
we went to a Waffle House
I love.
in Columbia, South Carolina on a Sunday morning. And I'm thinking, I'm sitting in a Waffle House in Columbia next to Tony Bennett. He had never eaten grits before. And he just fell in love with them. And being Italian, he had a whole case of grits sent to his home in California.
That's my favorite Tony Bennett
Great
story.
experience, I tell you.
This is one of his great tunes, "Because of You." You know this tune, don't you? Yeah. Because of you, there's a song in my heart. Because of you, my romance had its start. Because of you, the sun will shine, the moon and stars will say you're mine, forever and ever to part. I only live for your love and It's paradise to be near you like this, because of you my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you. Because of you, there's a song in my heart. Because of you, my romance had its start. Because of you, the sun will shine, the moon and stars will say you're mine, forever and never to part. I only live for your love and your kiss. It's really paradise to be near you like this. Well, because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you. That song never gets old.
That's right.
Good
Never.
tune.
They don't write them like that anymore.
They
That's
don't.
what they say.
There's nobody. Yeah, I've been told, and so far they are right. The next song, I didn't do this on purpose, but actually the next tune, this ballad, beautiful ballad, "Easy Living." The first person I ever heard do this song was Johnny Hartman,
That's right.
and he had this, just incredibly deep, rich voice. Never got the credit he really deserved until.
Yep.
He did that movie with
Madison,
Bridges,
Bridges of Madison County.
and
Yeah,
he was
Clint
heavily,
Eastwood.
And that's when I first heard him, and I thought, man, what a phenomenal voice! I'd never heard it before.
Really?
More
Yeah.
so than different than Billy Eckstine, somebody like that, but great voice.
Yeah.
This is one of my very favorite ballads, so we'll give it a whirl.
All right.
Living for you is easy living, it's easy to live when you're in love, and I'm so in love. There's nothing in life but you. I'll never regret the years I'm giving. They're easy to give when you're in love. I'm happy to do whatever I do for you. For you. Maybe I'm a fool, but it's fun. People say you rule me with one
wave of your hand, darling, it's grand. They just don't understand that living for you is easy living. It's easy to live when you're in love, and I'm so in love. There's nothing in life but you. For you, maybe I'm a fool, but it's fun. People say you rule me with one wave of your hand, darling, it's grand. They just don't understand that living for you is easy living. It's easy to live when you're in love, and I'm so in love. There's nothing in life but you.
You make playing easy. I got asked what was the zenith of my life so far. I hope there's more to come. What so far for you, pinnacle point?
Well, there have been a few over the years, being that I'm about 8 years older than you. But I was very fortunate, Nathan, as you know, to have been the drummer with the Glenn Miller Orchestra.
Yeah.
Back in the early 60s. We got to tour a lot. We had a national TV show called Glenn Miller Time on Monday nights on CBS TV.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yep. Live show. At the time, it was basically the only live TV show on the summer. We were a summer replacement for the old cereal called Hennessy.
Huh. A lot of pressure
Yeah.
doing a live show like that?
Maybe. At the time, we just didn't realize it. But it was a great experience. We got to work with a lot of great people. The great singer, you and I have talked about him, Johnny Desmond, was the featured boy singer.
Yeah.
You know.
I didn't know Desmond was still in stir, and that you said
Oh, yeah,
60.
yeah. But that was a great experience, you know. And I get to play. Knowing you has been a great pleasure in my life for the last 3 years. We've had a lot of fun.
We have had.
Great.
And I hope that more
It's always
fun.
a pleasure.
You know, speaking of Glenn Miller, change up the lineup a little bit. A song that I used to have a group back in high school, and they were called Sentimental Journey. And we did our thing for a long time. And I was just thinking how nice it would be to do that tune.
Sentiment? Sure.
It's pretty popular tune. like I've said about many of them, I wish I'd written that one. So.
I'm gonna take a sentimental journey, gonna set my heart at ease. I'm gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories. I've got my bags, got my reservation. I spend each dime I could afford. Just like a child in wild anticipation, I long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. I never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gotta take this sentimental journey, sentimental journey home. That's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven. I'll be counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. I never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? I gotta take a sentimental journey, sentimental journey home, sentimental journey home.
Good old song.
You remember who sang that,
I
by the
do.
way?
Doris Van
Doris
Keppelhoff
Day. Yeah,
became Doris Day
with the Les Brown
with
Band.
a band of renown.
That's right.
He was one of the last big band
He sure
leaders to
was,
go.
yeah.
He was one of the
Yep.
last. Amazing band director, band leader.
Yeah.
I was thinking, my grandfather was mentioning my love of Patti Page's music,
Mhm.
and there's a very good reason behind that.
I bet I know what it is.
What's that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
But when I was a kid, when I was young, I couldn't sing along with the male vocalist.
Mhm.
Was the reason, and for some reason, Patti Page clicked, and Rosemary Clooney. And when my voice changed, I was done.
Yeah.
It was Bobby Darin, Nat Cole, Frank Sinatra, all
Okay.
those guys then. So, this is, I know you love this song, Old Cape Cod.
Sure.
She just recently finally got her a road named after her in Cape Cod.
Really?
Yeah.
Great.
Long time coming. This was it for the songwriters. The guys that wrote this song, one time, and that was it for them.
One-hit wonder.
One hit wonder.
If you're fond of sand dunes and salty air, quaint little villages here and there, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. That old Cape Cod. If you like the taste of a lobster stew, served by a window with an ocean view, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. Winding roads that sing to beckon you, miles of green beneath the sky of blue, church bells chiming on a Sunday morn remind you of the town where you were born. If you spend an evening, you'll want to stay, watching the moonlight on Cape Cod Bay. You're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. If you spend an evening, you'll want to stay, watching the moonlight on Cape Cod Bay. You're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. You're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod.
Yeah. Love that song.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good song. Well, Jim, I've enjoyed it. I'm gonna you wanna swing something out here?
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
swing it out a little bit.
Here's an old song.
What can I say, dear, after I say I'm sorry? What can I do to prove it to you I'm so sorry? I didn't mean to ever be mean to you. If I didn't care, I wouldn't feel like I do. I was all wrong, but right or wrong, I don't blame you. Why should I take somebody like you and shame you? I know that I made you cry, and I'm so sorry, dear. But what can I say, dear, after I've said I'm sorry? All wrong, but right or wrong, I don't blame you. Why should I take somebody like you and shame you? I know that I made you cry,